Hey, it's me coming to you from my living room, and I'm also coming to you from your own ears. You might think, well, if he's in his living room, then who's in my ears? And if he's in my ears, then who's in his living room? I'm confused. And I'm just going to say, if you're already that confused, I don't think you're going to be able to understand this podcast or any podcast. But, I got to do it because I have to bring the truth to you, and I have to be honest with you. For example, I have to tell you that you're adopted, and I'm your father. I can't believe I can't believe I had you. My life could have been so different if I didn't adopt you, thinking maybe you were a Benjamin Button kind of thing. I thought, maybe this baby is about to die, and I'll just give it a good time for a little bit. Let it smoke some cigarettes. By the way, I'm sorry that I let you smoke cigarettes as a baby, but honestly, I was just a little confused. Maybe this baby is really an old guy. But no, it's just a baby. It's a regular baby, and you have to raise it once you adopt it. That's one of the ways they get you, you gotta look out for tricks like that. I don't know what the podcast is. I don't know what it's about. I don't know how to monetize it. I don't know what money is. I'm told I know that I must have it because I live in an apartment and I purchase things, but I don't know what I'm doing it with. I don't look at the money, you know what I mean? I just don't believe in it. It's everyone else in the world who believes in it. That's how it works. But I didn't come up with this idea. If it was just me on Earth, I probably wouldn't have had the idea for money. If the Earth's population was just 8 billion clones of you, how long until everybody dies? How many years do you give it? How many different yous do you think could figure out how to run a nuclear power plant? Because I don't think my guys would figure much of it out. But you have to have money. It's a shared concept. So it doesn't matter what I believe, because if enough people believe in something, it becomes real. This is how powerful the human mind is. It made it so that you can die if you don't have enough pieces of paper. If you don't have enough, you die. And maybe not right away. This is why I don't want to make money from doing this podcast, because I don't know where to put it. Not because I have too much, but I literally don't know where to put it. Where do you put money? Like a Ziploc bag seems safe. A Ziploc bag is I'm gonna let you see what this thing is that I have. I'm gonna let you see these chocolate chip cookies, The chocolate chip cookies can go either way, because in a cookie jar, it's you absolutely aren't gonna be able to see these cookies, not unless you're committed to getting... some cookie jars are see-through. I'm talking about the ones that aren't, obviously. What's really sus, what's really fucked up is when someone has a bread box. They don't even want you to see their bread. It's come on. In the ideal kitchen, I go in there, the refrigerator, see-through. Cabinets, see-through. Drawers? Shouldn't even have drawers. I want to see all the forks, I want to see all the knives, I want to know where everything is. Because here's the problem in a stranger's kitchen. I don't like to ask a lot of questions. I want to get 1 or 2 questions in. After that, I'm I think I should figure out the rest on my own. I already asked where the trash is. I already asked where the forks are. I need to strike out on my own in this kitchen, and I need to figure it out for myself to become a better person. Well, don't ever let me in your kitchen. I'm just gonna snoop around. Gonna see what kind of spoons you have. I'm gonna learn everything about you. I'm gonna become just like you. I'm gonna make my kitchen just like yours. The next time you come to my kitchen, you're gonna get spooked. You're gonna be like, this guy is copying my kitchen. I am copying your kitchen. It's because I love you. Well, that's the end of that segment, and it's new. We're not really sure what it is. We're not sure what to call it or what the premise of that segment was, but it's going to be in every episode. This is all going to happen again. This might shock you, this might upset you, but there's going to be another one of these, and there's probably going to be one after that. There's probably going to be one after that. These are never going to end. I'm going to be making these until the year 2100, at which point I'll hand it over to an AI. An AI couldn't fuck up in the specific ways that I fuck up. Everybody fucks up all the time, so how could we not be good at it? And AI never fucks up. Even when it does, it doesn't think that it does. Have you ever talked to these assholes? Like, hey, what color are clouds? What an interesting query. It turns out clouds are actually see-through. No one's ever seen a cloud. And you could reply, you could be like, I don't think that's right at all. Here's a picture of a cloud. It'll sort of condescend to you. It'll be like, most mainstream scientists are in agreement that clouds are see-through and invisible, and in fact, some have theorized they do not exist. This episode brought to you by our new sponsors, Human Hair. It's a new internet startup where they're selling hair. It's not really to put on your head, it's not as a wig, it's just, they just find hair, they put it in a Ziploc bag, they'll mail it to you. These guys have been doing it for a long time, and it's talking about being a professional, you know, they know what they're doing. If you ask any questions about whose hair it is, where it's coming from, how much it costs, then this maybe just isn't really the product for you. Maybe you're not ready for hair. And if you want to donate your own hair, you can't do that. The whole point is nobody knows where it comes from. Some say the people at Human Hair, they don't even know where the hair comes from. They just wake up from bad nightmares and they're covered in someone else's hair. The Vatican is investigating. Let me try it. Let me go to humanhair.com. Never been there before. There really is... Sorry, humanhair.com is a real website that actually does sell hair for wigs. What I meant to say, and I'm really sorry, I meant to say humanhair.org. Because they're actually a non-profit. This next segment is brought to you by just the sound of a gentle wind in the mid-afternoon. The rustling of leaves. The sound of a bird in the air. The sound of 2 birds. The sound of 3 birds. The sound of 4 birds. 5 birds. The sound of as many as a dozen birds in the air. I don't know, I think it should be more birds. I think it should be the sound of 45 birds gently screaming into the afternoon air. There is a coupon code for that as well. You know, I actually don't think there's ever a cap on the number of birds that can exist in any environment. And the reason I think this is because of something I learned last week. Every year in the United States, 1 billion birds fly into a fucking window and they kill themselves. Not 1 million, not 100 million. 1 billion birds in one country. So then I thought, how many birds are there in the world? Do you know what the consensus is? Between 50 billion, this is the range, and 430 billion birds on Earth. The size of the needle here for the number of birds in the world, the size of the needle can bring you from 0 to 380 billion. So if you walk into a room and you ask someone who just walked out, like, hey, how many birds are in there? And they're like, anywhere between 0 and 380 billion birds in that room. Because you don't know how big the room is, you know? This is the problem with birds. They're really small. So there can be as many of them as they want. But if you're a bird, I wonder if birds realize, like, in the bird world, individually they just don't matter at all. Unlike human beings. Sure there's 8 billion of us, but every one of us, like, is cool and chill and we have it going on. We're like a character in our own movie. A bird is like one little wrinkle in the undulating fabric of reality. Most of them are just totally brainwashed. It's just groupthink, you know? It's just sad to see. Birds should think for themselves. I think they'd do better. Like, if they're up there and they're all in a flock together, one of them should just say, hey, let's all go in different directions and see what happens. It could be interesting. It could be different for them. It could be a new thing for them to do. I don't really know anything about birds, but I like to appreciate the cardinals when I see them. And I see a lot of them around where I live. And now I'm thinking, of course I see a lot of them. I've probably never seen the same one twice. It's ridiculous. It's not special anymore. This is why information ruins you. It ruins the world. You don't want to know too much. You don't want to know too much about birds. Well, every bird you see, just pretend this is the only bird that exists. Pretend like this is the first bird ever. Then maybe you would learn to appreciate the bird, instead of judging the bird. If it's a seagull, I think that might be the exception. These guys are dickheads. They're not good people. They'll take everything from you. They'll take your family. If seagulls were a little bit smarter and could work together to, like, learn how to abduct human beings, they would do it. Look, I don't know. I'm the one I'm mixing all my utensils together. So what do I know? They're not separated at all, is what I'm saying. You know, if you're like, normally you'd have a drawer, you'd have a little tray with a little shape corresponding to each utensil. I have that, but I simply don't respect it. I don't respect the rules. This is a way for me to express myself. I'm dangerous. You know, they want to shut me up. They don't want me to say that, you know, it doesn't matter where you put the utensils. If it fits in the thing, it's fine. You can put the knives in the spoon shape. You can't put the spoon in the knife shape. I trained on this as a toddler, and it prepared me well for real life. I think it would now be appropriate to bring out someone who can tell us a little bit more about exactly how much time we have remaining until midnight comes around. And of course I am talking about Slurp Von Lipstick, who has entered the room, and everything has become worse. The light has become more dim. A terrible sulfurous smell has begun to emanate. Oh wait, you know, actually that might be unrelated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Slurp Von Lipstick. Give it up. My name is Slurp Von Lipstick. You know who it is, you know what it is, you know when it is. And if you don't, that's okay. You've come to the right place. I can tell you what time it is. That's what you're here for. You're not here to hear about my personal life. Like, you guys don't want to hear about how I got surgery to have webbed fingers. Like, you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about why I did that, because it's personal and it has nothing to do with time. I'm trying to stick with what I'm known for. I'm trying to stay in my lane, as they say, you know? I was trying to say all that stuff about race on Twitter, and everybody got on me. They said, Slurp Von Lipstick should, of all people, know that his time has passed. Nobody wants to hear from him. People really... these are masterful takedowns. The thing is, I'm just trying to make a living. You know, I'm saving up for, like, a toothbrush holder, because I don't have anywhere to put my toothbrush. So I'm holding it right now. I don't know where to put it. A lot of people think that's like a quirk that I have, that I walk around with a toothbrush. I just haven't found a good toothbrush holder yet. I'm working on it. People are burning me for that too. Everyone's saying, like, is Slurp Von Lipstick, like, perpetually going to bed? It's like, I put it in my bio because everyone's asking. It says I'm saving up for a toothbrush holder. If you see me with a toothbrush, that's why. I don't have anywhere to put it. And people don't read it. They just go in. It's because they want to destroy me, because they see me being successful. They see me selling all these books. Not ones that I wrote, but they're books that I have and I need to get rid of them. And they're flying off the shelves. I don't know, it's all this, like, ancient, untranslated Hebrew text that I found in a cave. I don't know what's so interesting about it. Can't read any of that shit. My life is so boring. I wish I had something else to talk about other than all this archaeology shit. Oh, right, I could say what time it is. But not before taking a call on our timeline to talk to somebody who's in the most need of actually knowing what time it is right now. This guy's number is coming up as It just says 0000000. What kind of an asshole spoofs that? Hello, you're on with a time check. Would you like to know what time it is? No, that's some kind of... I know who this is. This is Worms. Right? This is those worms I met. I can't believe I gave them my number. Oh, they sound like they're all there. All they're doing is slithering around down there. They're not bothering anybody. I mean, they are texting me shit late at night, but I think it's just because they're getting drunk. So, to our esteemed worms, may they be informed as to what time it is. The time which reads upon the clock is 11:48 p.m. Great time to be a worm, great time to be any kind of life form. Anything you guys want to plug? Alright. Thank you, worms. Thanks, guys. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, there's so many birds. There's probably like 380 billion birds there. There's no way. They're totally outnumbered. Oh fuck, how many worms are there on Earth? Let me look that up. Maybe if they all get together. BBC Oxford says more than the number of stars in the observable universe. Okay, so I don't have anything to worry about. They're gonna be fine. Okay, thank you, worms. Best of luck to you. If you like time, just keep looking at that clock, because it's always changing. It never stays the same. Believe me, I've watched it for years, thinking, maybe one day it'll just stop, you know? Time itself. That old girl, she keeps chugging along, pulling us right along with her. And by the way, a lot of people were asking online, you know, what happened to my leg that got eaten by that bear. Once again, I'm trying to save up to replace the leg, but right now I just have a construction cone with a stick taped to the top of my leg. If you think that sounds like it's not working, well, nothing gets by you, does it? It's difficult, but I don't have anything else on hand. Between that and the goddamn toothbrush, I mean, it's embarrassing to me in public. People think I'm like a Halloween costume of something they've never heard of. I'm like, no, this is my life. It's not a Halloween costume. I'm trying to figure stuff out, but there's a lot going on right now. And that's why I have a construction cone leg and I'm holding a toothbrush. Don't come after me. Don't try to snatch my wig and sell it to humanhair.com. And once again, they don't want the hair to be traceable. They have reasons for it. I do want to say sorry for my absence last week. I wasn't here. I listened to the episode where there were like 4 Slurp-on lipsticks that came out. I have no idea who the fuck those guys were. I absolutely wasn't here. My alibi is that I was on Fox News telling them about how they could try to use clocks to turn back time and try to make it so that Trump won in 2020. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear. Their money's good, you know. They actually want me to have like a guest spot on there now, but I told them, look, I just got a lot going on and I can't do it right now. I can't become a time pundit. I try to just focus on what time it is, but you get dragged into the partisan tribalist bullshit every time, you know. So I don't care who you vote for. If you want to write in Slurp on lipstick. Oh wait, I actually am running for senator. I just remember that. God damn. I gotta take something off my plate. But at least I have the time. At least I have that. We'll always have that. We'll always have this moment. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I've been Slurp on lipstick. Okay, yeah, alright. Yeah, keep encouraging that, I guess. If you're saying that's okay, you're saying that's content, you're saying that's entertainment. Every time you clap, every one of you, I'm looking at all of you in the eyes right now. You're condoning this. You're condoning the death of America. You're condoning the death of the human spirit. That's what Slurp on lipstick represents. And you could say good riddance to America, fine. Let the idea exist. You know, the idea of America is better than the actual thing itself. Like what America is supposed to be, it's fucking great. It's amazing. But it's not like that. It's almost like this happens in almost any kind of system where like there has to be a pride element attached to it, which becomes nationalism. It makes a stop at patriotism first, then it goes to nationalism. Where there's like propaganda involved. Anytime that happens, there's a reason there has to be propaganda. If it was actually as good as the ideal that was laid out, then it would sell itself. I wish I could tell you, a bedtime story, but all the good bedtime stories are protected intellectual property, so there's no new stories. They've all been done. They've all been capitalized on. So I can do like a public domain kind of generic story if you want. One time in the forest, there were two rabbits. One's name was Peter, the other one's name was Peter. Sorry if that seems confusing, but I'm just reporting the events as they occurred. So the two rabbits met each other. They said, hey, we should start a carrot business together. And so they do, and they become rich and famous rabbits. Until one day, one of the rabbits takes all the carrots into its burrow. And it says, I'm going to sell all these, and I'm going to make all the cash fucking moolah, baby. And the other rabbit was like, I'm trying to make a living also. I have a burrow to look after. And both of the Peter rabbits held a grudge against each other until the day they died. It was really sad. It's just fucked up what happened. So what does that teach you? I don't know, you're supposed to be asleep by now, so I hope that you've drifted off to sleep, and then I hope that I'm still in your ear, and I can influence your subconscious to make you have fucked up dreams. Okay, now have a dream about the scariest monster that's ever lived, and it lives in your basement. If you don't have a basement, it lives in your bedroom. Like it has a spot that it sleeps in every night. It's like having a dog, except you're screaming the whole time. You don't have to walk it. It's just, I don't know how it makes. And after a while, you kind of stop being scared of it. It's just kind of like having a roommate who has like weird hours, One day he moves out, and he has to go terrorize someone else. Part of you kind of feels like you're losing something, You feel a sense of nostalgia for the terror you felt, and you kind of think you just want to feel that terror again, like it felt the first time. But this monster isn't a monster at all. It's your friend. Okay, now wake up. I command you to wake up. Awake instantly. The monster, it was just you. In case you didn't get that. Yeah, I talked about dreams last week. I think that was the theme. And, just really hammering it home, you gotta look out for these fuckers, Make sure you get out there and vote earlier this week. Make sure earlier this week you better go to the polls. You better turn back those clocks and go to those polls, because I know you didn't go. Because it's primaries. And primarily it's stuff that most people don't care about that much, so. I'm almost starting to not really care about primaries either. I don't know what to do. Do you vote for one candidate or both? I mean, you can vote for both candidates now, because now we have ranked choice voting. It's just really great for an indecisive person. There's really actually only been one occasion where I felt like I had to do it. I think you can approach everything in life like through ranked choice voting. Like if you can't decide between like starting a family and not starting a family, you can just have a secret family and you can do both. Can't decide which tattoo to get? get the one you want the most, and then get the one you want not quite as much, but almost as much, and then have the tattoo artist say, this was my second choice for the tattoo. So if you don't think it's good, it was the second choice. So I wasn't totally sure about it, but it's on my body. Man, what was the name of that guy I voted for when I did ranked choice? It was Zachary something. The fuck was it? Who are these people? Who are these people? Well, thanks for coming over, and thanks for hanging out, and thanks for getting online and listening to the talkingman.com. Go to thetalkingman.com for new merch. We're selling a t-shirt you can only wear upside down. It's an upside down t-shirt. Okay, bye.